Number 9. Apex predators. Everyone watching this video is presumably a member of the species known as Homo sapiens. What most people don't know is that even with our relatively peaceful nature, and even our strong desire to care for animals, our species is known as apex predators. An apex predator is a species that is so powerful within their ecosystem that they have no natural competitors. Humans are so powerful that we can manipulate the very environment we live in, and we are the only species capable of leaving our ecosystem altogether. Humans are so powerful that if we put our minds to it, we could wipe out nearly any other species on this planet. This isn't a matter of speculation. In fact, the British biologist Dr. Austin Burt claims the latest genetic technology could wipe out 4/5 of all mosquitoes within 36 weeks. This would be accomplished by releasing genetically modified insects that would carry a gene that would make mosquitoes sterile. And, as of this video's release, humans can be found debating online whether or not to exterminate a species of insects just because they annoy us. Number 8. Crowds. When it comes to crowds, the entire human psyche changes. In fact, it turns out the saying, "people are smart, crowds are dumb," has an element of truth to it. If you take a crowd of people that are all traveling in the same direction and change the direction of just 6% of the people in that crowd, the rest of the crowd will mimic them. Think about that for a second. A crowd of people who originally were sure of where they were going and had an entire crowd of people validating their decision can be swayed by seeing just a tiny percentage of people traveling in the opposite direction. This was famously demonstrated in the Battle of Bull Run during the U.S. Civil War. As Union forces were ordered forward in the battle, they saw a few of their comrades retreating. This caused the rest of the Union soldiers to flee the battle in a disorganized panic. Number 7. Near extinction. Around 70,000 years ago, the supervolcano Toba in Indonesia erupted and ejected 3,000 cubic kilometers of ash into the atmosphere, nearly wiping out the human race. The eruption was so powerful that massive swaths of land were covered in ash, and global temperatures plummeted. In some areas, the temperatures dropped as much as 20 degrees Fahrenheit. This radical change of environment put our early human ancestors on the verge of extinction. In fact, every human alive today is the descendant of the mere 6,000 humans who managed to survive the catastrophe and reproduce. Number 6. Reproduction. It turns out that most of your DNA comes from your female ancestors. Thanks to DNA analysis, researchers have determined that more men than women get squeezed out of the mating game. This could be because throughout human history, countless male lives were lost to warfare, disease, and starvation, while other men were simply rejected by women and never had the opportunity to reproduce. This divide in reproduction is so deep that data shows that historically twice as many women than men passed on their genes to the next generation. In fact, just 8,000 years ago, 17 females were able to reproduce for every one male. This trend of unequal participation in reproduction has not stopped in modern society and will likely continue into the future. Number 5. Infidelity. It turns out humans really like to cheat on their partners. In the early 1970s, a school teacher in southern England assigned a science project to his students. The students were tasked to find out the blood types of their parents. They were then to use this information to deduce their own blood types. He wanted to show his students that a gene from each parent determines your blood type. Instead, because of the class project, 30% of the students discovered their dads were not their biological fathers, because their blood types could not have possibly originated from a pair between their mother and the person they thought was their father. Number 4. Attractiveness. Not all humans are born equal, and not all humans are born attractive. What you might not have known is that some races are statistically considered more attractive than others. In fact, racial bias plays heavily into who we date and who we marry. Thanks to online dating, researchers are now able to examine more data on dating and marriage than ever before. It turns out that on dating sites, men are more likely to respond to a message from an Asian woman, and all women, except for black women, respond most to advances from white men. White men mostly prefer other races over their own. And OkCupid data shows that black women are the least popular of all races in online dating. and white women are the second least popular race. As time goes on, these racial biases and attraction will be studied more and may yield crucial insights into the human psyche. Number 3. Extraordinary brains. Without a doubt, the one trait that sets us apart the most from the animal kingdom is our extraordinary brain. But humans don't even have the largest brains in the world. Those belong to the sperm whale. We don't even have the largest brains relative to body size. Many birds, for example, have brains that make up more than 8% of their body weight, while human brains only make up 2.5% of our body weight. Yet the human brain, weighing only about 3 pounds when fully grown, gives us the ability to reason and think on our feet beyond the capabilities of the rest of the animal kingdom. Number 2. Running. Humans are the kings and queens of the planet when it comes to long-distance running. We can run longer than every animal on the planet, and can run in conditions that no other animal is capable of. Humans can run for longer durations than antelopes, lions, dogs, and even cheetahs. This is because these species are built for speed, not endurance. The only animal that can even come close to the endurance humans have when it comes to running is the horse, and horses only run long distances if they're forced to. And number 1, extinction. All in all, the human race has become pivotal in our world's ecosystem. We're so important that if humans were to disappear tomorrow, our mere absence would cause the extinction of multiple species. To put it simply, some species would be very sad to see us go. For example, domestic dogs have spent tens of thousands of years becoming dependent and adapted to human urban environments. If we were gone, they would struggle to adapt to a world without us. There are even some species of parasites that are so specialized that they cannot survive without human hosts. For example, if humans disappeared, pubic and head lice would go extinct very quickly. Some species are fighting a losing battle against natural selection, and without humans their existence could not be assured, such as the panda. But you know humans, you can't live with them, but you can't live without them. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, be sure to check out our other lists and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already.